Sorry, I'm going into when things.
You're going. Yeah. As if we're actually in it, right?
I told you, I'm locked in.
All right.
Right.
I'm doing like some random gang signs, dude.
I don't know what this is either. That's like not even an X. It's like.
So Pokemon Trainer Mike. We went over Gen 1, some of the fun memories and such. We went through how it all started for us both. And as we turn the page, that's nice.
That
was nice.
Seamless.
Yeah, seamless. As we turn the page to the next generation, we move into Pokemon Silver, Pokemon Gold, and Pokemon Crystal.
Crystal, we do indeed.
That's right.
Johto type, baby!
Roll the clip.
Roll the clip.
I don't know if our editor has that yet. Well, we'll fix it in post.
Yeah. When you listen to this, that may have just played something very snazzy. It might just be a black void of nothingness. But hey, we'll see, right? We'll see. See? Oh man!
As always, we have to pay the bills.
We do. That was a very quick segue into our sponsor there, Brady. I really like that bit. There was no wait there. It was like, we gotta get paid. Good lord. Oh dear me, Bradley.
It's in the contract.
Well, Bradley, are you tired of? Bradley, are you?
Okay, sorry, mate. That was just really good. Okay.
Well, Bradley, are you tired of running around the entire region?
I am Pokemon Trainer Mike.
You look tired. And are the soles of your running shoes running thin?
You know, I forgot to pick something up from my mum. Yeah, that's a bit awkward. But yes. Is there a better way to travel?
Well, Bradley. Well, today's sponsor is none other than the Cerulean City Bike Store. Oh, shout out to Cerulean City Bike Store, where just only today, by the way, today you can purchase one of their fabulous brand new bicycles.
Okay.
For the little.
Yeah. Keep going.
Is this right?
Keep going. That's right. That's accurate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the reasonable price of $1 million Poké dollars. Like, what a steal.
What a deal.
What a steal.
Sign me up. The queue must be out the door. Wow.
Like, I'm pretty sure there's one model in one color as well.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Yeah. Everyone can feel the same. Inclusiveness, everything.
That's insane. Really a great selling point.
1 million. So,
moving on.
That aside, thank you, Cerulean City Bicycle Store for sponsoring.
Yeah, that's right.
For sponsoring today's podcast. Bradley, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. I'm
happy to be here.
I'm really happy to be. I'm locked in.
I am locked in.
I like that. I see what you did. I see what you did there.
I held it for suspense.
For those that are thinking that there had been some editing that had been happening over the last, say, 45 to 60 seconds, that's just some technical difficulties with the recording software. No editing happened, just to be very clear.
There wasn't about 15 bloopers that I'm absolutely going to try and use in some sort of end of year video or montage. Yeah, absolutely. But no, none of that. None of that happened.
A couple of serious men talking about Pokemon with a Cyndaquil earring.
Well, they love Pokemon with Cyndaquils on both sides, right?
That's right.
Actually, that's a great segue, that, Bradley. So, why have we got Cyndaquils on? Is there a particular topic we're discussing today, or?
Well, yeah. Obviously, we turned the page earlier to mention that we are going into Pokemon Silver, Pokemon Gold, Pokemon Crystal, Generation 2. If you recall,
that's right. Yeah, I do remember that
But we're
conversation.
just reminding. We're just that's you know what?
3 minutes ago.
Yeah,
it happened 3 minutes ago, and I completely remember us having that conversation.
It's a great conversation.
Today's Johto, right?
It is.
It's all about Johto.
It is.
Look at Cyndaquil. Look at Cyndaquil. I can't even put it. It's too thingy. It's there.
It's cute,
He's gonna fall off. Yeah, I love him. For those that are listening, sorry, they are so I have a very small Cyndaquil. Sort of a keyring kind of thing that was out of a gacha machine, which I'll explain where and when I got that in a moment. What have you got, Bradley?
Well, I've got a massive Squirtle kind of behind me on my piano, and that I won at Thought Park. You know the little buckets where you have to throw the ball in. Well, I'm pretty good at physics, so I watched it. Well, I watched those YouTube videos that kind of show you how to win the carnival trip. I don't know. It was 3 o'clock in the morning at some point. You know, you just get into that weird YouTube thing of
and you go down a rabbit
hole, right? And there it was.
Indeed.
There was like how to do it, and this is what you should aim for. And lo and behold, it really worked. And I got myself a big Squirtle, and I think I got a big Charmander as well, and I got that for my little brother. And then they didn't allow me to play anymore. So, but then this little Cyndaquil, a very, very dear friend, gave me that little boy. So,
he's a sleepy boy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a sleepy boy. He's a sleepy boy. For those listening, we've got a Cyndaquil on the microphone, just sleeping. You know, he's happy to be there.
Cyndaquil.
Might move around throughout, but yeah.
Let's hope there'll be no Cyndaquils harmed during the making of this particular podcast. Just to be clear, there'll be no fall injuries or anything, right?
No, that's right. No, this particular one, no, there won't be.
Yeah, you see, I was very, and also I was very particular with word choice.
Particularly about this podcast, but no others. You know,
no other. I mean, tomorrow. I mean, who knows, right? Or next week, right? I mean, I'm just happy to be. Yeah. I mean, hey, it's show business or something like that, right? Hey. Moving swiftly along, my little Cyndaquil, I got in a gacha machine.
Yeah.
I got in a gacha machine. I was going to see a movie that I can't recall which movie it was.
Yeah.
But there was a pub outside the cinema, and there was a little gacha, and I was like, ooh, when you could get the 3 Johto starters. I'm not even sure what promotion it was, but you get the 3 Johto starters, Giratina, Pikachu, and some others. I got Giratina first. Yeah. Which I still have to this day, and I got little Cyndaquil, and I was like, that is the most cutest little Cyndaquil ever, and I was like, for life, love him.
Is that
someone actually said, am I giving this away in one of my streams? And I was like, I'm afraid not.
No.
I'm afraid not.
What was your first starter though? I mean, did you play silver or was it gold? Which one did you start with?
It's a very similar conversation to the Kanto games that we talked about in the last podcast.
Shout out to episode 1.
Shout out episode 1. If you haven't watched episode 1, it was hilarious. What are you doing?
Yeah, that was brilliant. That was a good one.
Then come and watch this one or listen to this one.
Yeah, mic quality has definitely improved from last time on my end.
Hey, we're learning.
Hey, here we are.
We're learning, aren't we? We're learning. So I didn't play Pokemon Silver, nor did I play Pokemon Gold.
It was a crystal.
My first my first game for Johto was again the mid one. It was Crystal.
What do you think of it?
I loved it. So it was very similar conversation like last time, right? So like everyone had silver, everybody had gold. It was in between birthdays and Christmases. Now I'm trying to recall, did I get Crystal I think Crystal was a Christmas present this time rather than a birthday. I think it was because I got that, the game, and I got this original walkthrough guide. Oh, is it called Prima? I think the guide was called, but this original Pokemon Crystal game guide, and I've still got it upstairs to this day, by the way. I've still got it. It's I mean, it's a bit tattered, of course, but it's just lovely. And yeah, I absolutely love Crystal. I love Crystal. So obviously it was they all had moving animations, didn't they? They weren't all still.
Silver was still, but actually some of the moves I think were. I mean, there's another. What during battle? You mean?
When the Pokemon came out, I'm sure in Crystal they moved, right? The sprites moved and they came out.
I don't know
Crystal,
about I don't know about Crystal, but both Silver and Gold, they did not. You had like some things you would have tackle where they might move like a little bit, or like if you got hit by an earthquake, your screen would shake a little bit. That's
it. Yeah. But when they came out the ball, they moved on Crystal, right? And I think it was the first time it had ever been done.
Yeah.
And I'd never seen someone play Crystal before that. And I remember picking, I think it was Cyndaquil first, right? And having Cyndaquil go out, and you saw like he jumps down and his flame on his back like kind of flashes a couple of times, and I was like, oh, cool. After seeing obviously anime at that point, because obviously you'd seen some Pokemon Johto journeys at this point, and lots of people play Silver and Gold. But I still remember everyone had Silver and Gold. I sound like I'm worse off child, by the way. I wasn't like, you're not allowed Pokemon. I remember being at school. It must have been just before Christmas, because I got Crystal for Christmas. And I remember two distinct memories come to mind. I remember my friend first getting Gold, I think it was, and he picked Chikorita. And I remember seeing the move animations obviously being updated from obviously Red, Blue, and Yellow from what we've been accustomed to for however long that was. And I remember seeing Razor Leaf where just a bunch of small leaves just went out of Chikorita and just went against the Pokemon. And I still, to this day, I was on a bus saying that for the first time. And I'm just being like, what is this? Because Chikorita, even in Crystal, Chikorita was spinning its leaf around and stuff. And man, it was so good.
That was the animation. I remember that fondly when I played Crystal, and it was when like the leaves would like go and they would fall down very slowly, and then they would just go right.
So good. So good.
So Chikorita was the one, was she? You
was not. No, that was my friend's game. I picked this guy. Cyndaquil was selected. Yes, he most certainly was. There was not even a question. It wasn't even a question. I think the only other memory I had back then when it first started, I remember someone had, I think they had just sacked off all Johto Pokemon and just caught the Kanto Pokemon for whatever reason. And I remember seeing Pidgeot with this, I'll put the sprite on screen for those that can't recall, by the way. But the sprite was like, he had this crazy, like, triangle-looking hair where it looked insane. I remember that being in Blackthorn City Gym, somebody playing and using Pidgeot. That's all I remember. That's all I remember from back then, but so good. So good, man. What about you?
Well, I got Pokemon Silver, and it was for my original Pokemon, my original Game Boy Pocket, I think it was. I was still rocking back then. So no colors or anything. Didn't see any. It was all black and white, but it was still amazing. I'm pretty sure that was how it was, at least. And I didn't get the Nintendo XP, or what was it? Is the what was the
the SP,
yeah.
I love the SP.
I didn't get that, so I didn't know what backlight was. I went straight to the Game Boy Advance, and for the longest time I didn't think you could slot them in, but you could, right? So that was really cool. But I digress. No, Pokemon Silver was where it started for me. Really enjoyed that experience in that game. We went for Totodile, was my first. I saw that crocodile boy. Obviously, when the anime started progressing further, and I saw Cyndaquil, because I think was it Ash who had Cyndaquil, and then he was like holding him and hugging him or something, and he wouldn't let go even though the Cyndaquil was like fire and stuff, and because the Cyndaquil was scared or something like that. It was beautiful. But then I saw Quilava and I fell in love. Like,
yeah, right?
Wow. Quilava was like the cutest little thing. It was like this cute little ferret, and I don't know, man. It was just just got me. But by then I'd already played Silver. I was playing quite a lot, and when Totodile evolved to Crocnor, I was like, he's a big boy, but I mean, sure, he was all right. But Feraligatr, oh my god, what a monster! I was like, I feel safe holding this guy's hand. Like, wow, what a monster. But yeah, no, Pokemon Silver was for me. And then I got Pokemon Crystal after that, and Crystal was incredible. Absolutely incredible. I think I didn't appreciate Silver as much as I did when I got Crystal, and then Crystal I just really locked in on that game, and yeah, it took a lot of there was just so many, like, for me, it was like I'd be playing Pokemon Blue, and then I'd be playing Silver or Crystal, and like some of the different artworks and stuff for the different Pokemon, like Slowpoke, I think, was like upside down sleeping like this in the game, and it was just...
it was lush, wasn't it?
It was great. It was that merge between the previous and the future, and then you had all these sort of like slightly better moves as well, and all these things being thrown in, and it was a great time. It was a great time. Really enjoyed it.
So if I ask you a question then, so if I take you back to starting a fresh game of Pokemon Gold and Silver or Crystal, right?
Yeah.
Let's see if the core memory's kicking, right? So you get your first Pokemon.
Yeah.
You make your way up to Mr. Pokemon. You see Professor Oak.
Yeah.
You get a mystery egg off Mr. Pokemon, I think he's called.
Yeah.
And then you get the Pokédex Professor Oak, and then suddenly you get a phone call from Professor Elm saying, "Oh no, someone's broken in, come quick." So you come back down. You come back into Cherry Grove City, and as you're exiting to the east of Cherry Grove City, you get bumped in by your rival.
Yeah.
You start the battle, and his name is 3 question marks. You beat him. You get to Professor Elm's house. He's frantically running around. The policeman approaches you, and the policeman says something on the lines of, "You've what you've described as someone that we think that's broken in. Did you catch his name?" And this is the part of the game where you tell what the rival's name should be.
Yeah.
Now, because during that battle, Bradley, when it says you were challenged by question mark, question mark, question mark, did you then tell the police officer that your rival's name was question mark, question mark, question mark, or did you actually, your brain kicked in and went, "Oh, I can name him whatever I want," and did you give him an actual name?
My brain kicked in, and I gave him a name. But I'm picking up the vibe that maybe there was another guy in this podcast when he was a little younger who hit the 3 question marks.
I most certainly did, mate.
I think I called him Bob.
Bob, what a name.
Well, the things I didn't know. Right. I think it was. I didn't realize it was my rival. So it was just like, I'll just name this guy. I was like, well, I don't remember what his name was. So I think I called him Silver. I think that's what I called him.
That's what his name should be as well.
I think I called him Silver because I was like, I don't know what his name is. Like, and I was a kid back then, so I was just like, well, Pokemon Silver. All right, his name's Silver.
And that's my excuse when I was a kid. That police officer in that game went, "Did you catch his name?" And all I remember seeing was challenged by Pokemon trainer, question mark, and I was just like, there's 3 question marks, and that entire game was question mark, question mark, question mark. So it had a bit of immersiveness to it. He was a secret character that I never know anything about throughout the entire game, right? Mysterious character wants to battle you every single time. That was annoying. It was very frustrating, by the way.
Did you get the Lapras early on?
Oh, hold on. Is this Tojo Falls, or was it? Or I can't remember. On a Friday at a certain time of the day, you could go down and you could find. You needed surf though, right?
Yeah, but I remember getting it very early, like level 20. I remember.
No, I didn't. No, that was that was an end game thing for me. Like when I found out you could get it when I had surf, I went back and got it.
Because I actually, yeah. Oh, it was just so many good memories. So many good memories.
I have. Do you know what it is? I'm thinking loads about for that generation, and there's only a handful of ones that stick out.
It's fragmented, right? Unlike Gen 1 and Gen 3, it's fragmented.
It's very fragmented, mate. It really is. I mean, I still remember. Oh, and this still frustrates me to this day, right? So I was traveling down from Olivine City, so I was surfing south.
City.
And I went past Whirl Islands to get to Seemwood City to go get that secret potion for the Polyampharos and the lighthouse. Remember, before you could battle Jasmine.
It's there, mate. It's there. But I'll tell you what. It's like you said. It's fragmented, right?
It's not called right. So on Pokemon Crystal, when you get over to Seemwood, if you go right at the top, there's a guy who's been chasing Suicune or that's in the conversation. Or Suicide. Yeah. We'll come to that in a second, by the way. Who's obviously searching for Suicune. Now he's at the top there, and if you approach him, he immediately starts to battle you. There's no question. There's no, would you like to battle? Yes or no. He challenged you right on the spot. So Pokemon Trainer Mike, in his young age, battled right the way through the route of water, all the way over Whirl Islands, battling all the trainers, battling all the Tentacool, the Chinchows, you name it, right the way across. And I ended up sort of landing at the very top corner of Seemless City. Not knowing, I was like, oh, look, there's that character from Ecruteak City. And I woke up and he challenges to a battle. I have 2 Pokemon out of my 6 that are alive and well. One of them has next to nothing HP. I have no items, and he one-shots us with his Haunter. And once you do the battle, you don't rematch him. He beats you, and that's it.
And that's
you
it.
don't get an opportunity to rematch. So I was sitting there going, if my Pokemon were healthy. And I remember when I went back in Soul Silver to battle him, I was like, right. 10-year-old Pokemon Trainer Mike's going to get his revenge back this however many years it was, and I beat them all over with one Pokemon.
That's brilliant.
Not that I'm about revenge, by the way.
No. I remember now, Lapras, you had to use Surf, and then Lapras was sitting in the middle of the water that you approached.
That's
and
right.
It was level 20.
That's right.
Level 20 Lapras. That's
Lush,
that was good. So, going into Pokemon Silver, something that we did last episode was we were talking about some of our favorite Pokemon from the game, and we also had TCG, right? But from the game, I wonder what, because if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Heracross back in Gen 2?
Heracross was Gen 2.
But so was Sudowoodo. I remember that from the anime. Oh my god.
Woodo! Love Sudowoodo. Love Sudowoodo.
Would I be mistaken in thinking that Heracross would be your favorite Pokemon from Gen 2?
He is now.
Oh. If you had to have a top 3 from back in Gen 2, what would your top 3 be?
For right now? Well, Heracross number 1.
Yeah.
Oh, Bradley. Cyndaquil.
Okay.
And probably. Oh, that's really hard. It would either be Espeon, Tyranitar, or Houndoom. I can't pick a third.
What were all the Pokemon you just said there? So Espeon,
Tyranitar, and or Houndoom.
One more Pokemon.
Another one. You mean
one more?
Mean the team of 6? Yeah. Gen 2.
Donphan. Oh, the what? Yeah, because I mean, you're such a favorite that you know all of his Pokedex entries, right?
Oh, what's happening here? No, I do not. What?
Shout out to the last Who Wants to Be a Pokemonaire. Do you not remember?
I've got a mind blank.
I read out a Pokédex entry, and we had 4 choices. One of them was Donphan. It was the skin is so thick that scratches and damage doesn't touch it, and you were like, well, that's Golem. And ends up being Donphan. And the funny part of it is that Pokemon Trainer Mike had recently watched the anime episode where the Pokédex actually explains and reads out the exact entry for Donphan.
Oh dear.
You know,
it was in the title, right?
Yeah. So we've got your 6.
Skin.
We've got your 6, right? And so what I'm thinking is we're gonna have another little episode where we're gonna go on Pokemon Battle Showdown, and we're gonna pit our 6 favorite against each other. We're gonna have a battle. And so
on Pokemon Showdown.
On Pokemon Showdown at some point, right? So you're gonna have Heracross, Cyndaquil, Espeon, Tyranitar, Houndoom, and Donphan, which is a pretty good lineup. That's a pretty good lineup.
I mean, my Cyndaquil might evolve by then, but I don't know.
Not sure. Right, so now I know what Lugia, Ho-Oh, Lugia, Ho-Oh,
There's Raikou, Entei, Celebi.
yeah, Swizine,
Swice.
God, what would my favorite Pokemon be?
You're gonna have to bring up the Gen 2 Pokedex here, aren't you?
I'm having a little look. It's on my screen.
Just to refresh the old.
I've got the old tier list here.
There you go. I'm here. I'm in.
And it's just to have a little reminder. One of the ones that was definitely my favorite back then. I don't know if I'd call it now, but it was. I'll give you the scene. I catch my first Mareep.
Oh.
And I'm like, what is this, sheep?
Oh, Ampharos, of course.
And I got Thunder Shock. Like, what? This is a sheep. What's going on? And it's like evolution, and I'm like, what? Okay, what's the sheep evolving into? Flaffy. What a Pokemon, by the way. Flaffy, absolute.
Indeed. Yeah.
Incredible. Really strong, just brilliant. And then, of course, you have Ampharos. And Ampharos, for me, was just brilliant. Like, that really carried my team back then. Fantastic Pokemon. So Ampharos has to be one of my highest ones for back then. Just remembering them all, I'm not going to say choices. I'm not going to say Magneton because Magneton,
Gen 1, right?
Yeah. Well, you said a couple.
Yugi's available, but
yeah,
we said Gen 2 favorite Pokemon, right?
We did. Is Espeon Gen 2, not Gen 1?
Yeah, man.
Oh, excuse me. Espeon Umbreon, right, yeah. Skarmory.
Great choice.
Skarmory.
The steel types, where you at?
Yeah. Skarmory.
I said Steelix on my list, actually. Steelix was a great Pokemon.
Steelix was a great Pokemon. So, we had Skarmory.
While you're reading stuff out, I'm looking at my team going, I can combat that one. I might use that move set against that one. Went total competitive brain.
One of them is Blossom.
Great
but
choice.
That's from the anime rather than the actual Pokemon itself. Like, I just fell in love.
Yeah.
Fell in love with Blossom. And then three more. Was Scizor available back then? No.
He was. No, he was Gen 2. He was introduced in Gen 2.
Scizor, definitely.
Scizor, great Pokemon.
Umbreon. That's at the top of the list. Number one, Umbreon, 100%. I got one more, I think. Maybe.
I haven't wrote these down, by the way. Should I be?
No, that's fine. That's fine. Togekiss.
Tick.
You
got it.
Togetic. Yeah.
You got it. Yeah?
Yeah.
Great choices, mate. Great choices.
Honorable little shout out to Pichu, I think. First baby Pokemon ever to be created.
Oh, Pichu.
First baby Pokemon in all of Pokemon history.
I love Pichu.
Little mischievous in the anime. Very mischievous in the anime.
Very much so. Oh, the anime. We're actually just recently rewatching Johto with Harry because we've been through OG.
Oh, that was unknown to me.
It was unknown to you, right? Okay. Well, let me cast a spell. I got it. Yeah, we've just watched Johto Journeys, and we're in Johto Champions at the moment. He's just what has he just done? I think he's just beaten Whitney for his third gym badge, I think, Ash.
Okay.
So he's got his full team now anyway. Disservice, right, okay. All right. I'm segueing.
Sorry, I'm gonna quickly side note you. Very quickly.
Go on.
Anyone listening, we would love to hear what your favorite Pokemon from Gen 2 was.
Oh, what a good question.
All right, so let us know in the comments if you are listening. If you'd like to give us your thoughts, it'd be really interesting to hear what you guys have as your top one, or if you had a party of 6 in mind. If Pokemon Trainer Mike and I were gonna say our absolute favorite from Gen 2, right now this second, I know Pokemon Trainer Mike's is gonna be Heracross. Known him long enough to know that. Myself is gonna be Umbreon. Yeah, Umbreon, Espeon, both of those, very, very, very high up. So those are my, that's our favorites. What are yours? What are yours? That would be that's a question for you guys.
He's asked the question. Actually, fun fact, I don't actually remember my team through Pokemon Crystal. I do remember Typhlosion in Ampharos, but I don't remember anything else.
Mate, I had an Ursaring. I remember that.
Let's go. Let's go. Hey, really underappreciated. He's an absolute monster.
I used him like a Snorlax. So I had it was Snore was no, I don't think Snore was in back then, was it? We had Rest.
I think it was.
It might have been Snore, or it'd have been Sleep Talk, and then just 2 Giga abilities, and that's what I do.
There we go, man. So good, man. So good. But if we're talking teams, right? So we can touch on Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, the remakes of Soul.
Yeah.
Have you played them?
We've both definitely played those games.
Not
yet. I've got it.
All right.
I've got it. I haven't played it yet. And that's the only little thing we're missing from this podcast is Gen 2, man. It's all fragmented.
It is all fragmented, right?
But I've heard it was a great game.
It was one of the best remakes I think Pokemon have done.
Really?
I've said it.
You heard it here first.
One of, not the one of, definitely. I can tell you my team, and I've used it ever since this day for Johto. Obviously, matured since then. So, still, of course, Typhlosion's there. Heracross is, of course, there.
Typhlosion. That's what
Typhlosion.
I call it. Yeah,
what do you call it?
Typhlosion.
Typhlosion.
No L. No L. No L at all, mate. Typhlosion.
Typhlosion. I can't even say it.
Typhlosion.
Typhlosion.
No L. You keep
I can't help it. I'm going back to his actual name.
Typhlosion.
There we
go. No, that was it.
I'm never doing it again. Typhlosion. That's a DL. Typhlosion.
Typhlosion.
Mike Tyson lotion.
Mike Tyson Ocean.
Oh my god.
Mike Tyson.
If that's not on his next entrance card when he's next boxed, if he's doing anything good.
Mike Tyson lotion. Yeah. Anyway, carry on.
Mike Tyson lotion. Typhlosion. Heracross Ampharos.
Yep.
Espeon, Scizor, Red Gyarados.
Oh yes. Now that reminds me. That has just thrown me back. I remember going to that lake, and there was loads of story around it, wasn't there? That was that mysterious lake with the
sound waves being forcing the Magikarp to evolve, right?
Man, that's a throwback.
In Mahogany Town, so good, so good. Honestly, Bradley, you need to play Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Yeah.
They are incredible games, by the way.
Yeah.
So good. But very quickly, we've touched on this a couple of times. For some reason, you've been saying Suicune's name wrong, and so have I. So should we just touch on why we were calling Suicune? Sorry, how did you pronounce it?
So for me, Suicune, I pronounced it Swizine. Because back then you didn't get any of the phonetic explanations as to what the names of the Pokemon were, so we would make it up ourselves, right? Just like Typhlosion. Right now, that's what I know the Pokemon as. Magnolium as well. Right?
Magnolium.
that is the name, right?
Meganium. Chikorita's last evolution. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Isn't it Magnolium?
No, it's not.
Oh no.
It's Meganium. I feel like we need to go through the entire Johto Pokedex.
We actually do.
Say what you see. See what you're doing, Pokephrase?
There it is. A shout out to Pokephrase. Shout out to Pokephrase. Tune in Saturday evenings.
Saturday evening, 7:30 BST, every single Saturday.
Loads of giveaways.
Loads of giveaways. You'll enjoy it. Have the best time of your life. Can we just for the first 30 perhaps, can we just bring up the Pokedex and can you just read out
we sure can.
The first 30 Pokemon, please?
Pokedex, Gen 2. There we go, Generation
While Bradley's doing that, for whatever reason, I thought Suicune was pronounced Suicine. for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And then was clearly corrected when Pokemon, the movie Forever came out, with Celebi and Suicune in there. And when somebody was like, here's the North Wind, it's Suicune, I was like, oh, it's a brand new Pokemon. I've never heard of Suicune. And then Suicide blasts on the feed, and I'm like, hang on, what? Suicune? Oh,
yeah.
no.
That is not how you say that name. That is not how you say that name.
Stop, Ash, it's not Suicune, it's Suicide. Anyway, completely corrected.
All right, here we go.
Are you ready for this, by the way?
Right. It's probably it's going to be anticlimactic because I'm going to say every name right. Okay.
Because you don't read the name right.
No. I'm going to tell you. I'm looking at the Pokemon.
Okay.
Chikorita, Bayleaf, Magnolium. I can read that it's Maganium. Cyndaquil, Quilava, Typhlosion, Totodile, Croconaw, Feraligatr, Sentret, Furret. Oh, this is easy. Hoot, Noctown, Ladybird, Ladyain, Spinarak, Ariados. That's Crobat. That's Chinchou. Oh, what a Pokemon, by the way, Chinchou. By the way, wait. Ariados. Oh, okay.
You've got it.
Okay.
You've got it.
Yeah. I mean, let's just dumb down because these are all one-word things. Natu and Xatu. Oh, Xatu. Oh,
great Pokemon. Pokemon.
That was great. The Synchronize from Xatu.
Oh.
The Calm Mind tech into the thing that you would Oh, it was great. Mareep, Flaffy, Ampharos, Blossom, Marill, Azurimaril. Azumarill. Right. It's weird.
Listen.
Yeah.
It's listen, right? Look, listen, as children, you pronounce stuff however you thought you saw it, right? It's actually quite interesting where people's brains were at, because we were jokingly talking about Suicune, right? You had a completely different way that you pronounce his name to what I did.
Yeah.
From the real one, by the way, I may add.
Here's a Pokemon for you, mate. Mischievous.
Mischievous. Okay, yeah, sure.
Pinecone.
Pinecone? Where's the N?
There isn't one. I thought it was, Pinecone. Is it not Pinnacle?
No. Pineco.
Pinico. Permítame. I think that's about it. I think that's about all of.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Milk tank.
Milk tank. Is there a K?
There is not a K that exists on that Pokemon.
Miltank.
Although I remembered that Pokemon, and I named it Rollout because that's all it did.
I think that Pokemon is every childhood nightmare when they first played through Pokemon Soul Silver.
Crushing.
Sorry, Silver and Gold. Sorry. Very hard Pokemon to beat. Very hard Pokemon at that time, especially if you had Quilava as a start. Sorry, well, because it would have evolved by then. But if you'd had a Cyndaquil as your starter going in, that rollout hit you. Say goodbye to your Pokemon.
Yeah,
it was GG.
Yeah.
Can you remember how you beat it? Okay, if not.
Yeah, no, I remember the deaths. I need to remember. I think it was Muddy Water from Croconaw. I think was Muddy Water in back. No, Muddy Water was Ruby and Sapphire. It would have been. I'll be honest. I would have probably gone back and just grinded. What
I did, I brute forced it.
Yeah,
that's what I did as well. Yeah,
totally I kept everything the same level, but when that Miltank came around, I was just like, I just can't. So I went back and I just farmed on my main guy, Croconaw.
I think I ended up having Fluffy with Thunder Wave, paralyzing, and then just chancing the paralysis happening. But with Heart Gold and Soul Silver, didn't matter because I'd Heracross. He would come in and just brick break and.
Did you find that these remakes are easier than the original games?
100%. I mean, you're playing them through as like 10, 15 years later or whatever it is. So it's like you've got a completely different perspective on how it is, right? But no, actually, no, I didn't. Because the level, the exact same thing, the level cap from when you do the 8th gym leader to go into the Elite Four is like 10 plus levels difference. So when you go into do the Elite Four, like Lance has got like, I'm sure Lance has got a really silly level Dragonite still at that point, and like you're nowhere in its lead, so you have to strategize well around it, I thought. Plus, there's not very many trainers leading up to that point that you can train. It's just grind until you can get to that point. So, but I loved it all the same. It was just hearing the music on at the time the Nintendo DS's was a 3DS. No, it was just the Nintendo DS. The hearing that beautiful music from that box was just chef's kiss. And I totally forgot to add the Pokewalker that you would get as part of that. Now, do you know what this is?
The Pokewalker in the game, right?
No, the physical device. Oh, I've got a story for you then.
Okay, I remember it was like a step tracker, right?
It is. That's right.
And oh god, it really.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Go on. Tell me the story. Tell me the story.
So when they shipped the games, right? You get them in quite a big, beautiful box, right? So you have the DS game in the box inside, but you'd also have a Pokewalker, about no bigger than that, I'd say, right? And you're absolutely right. It was a pedometer, so it would track your steps and everything, but you could transfer a Pokemon from your game into your Pokewalker and walk with it.
Yes, I remember.
Gain experience points, gain levels. Now, when Soul Silver came out, right, this is before the global launches happened, right? I think we talked about this in Who Wants to Be Pokemon Air, actually, on one of your questions. But it was always Japan first, US, and then the UK, or Europe, I think it was. It would go through there, and there would be a next number of months between them coming out. And I remember seeing Soul Silver coming out, and it was available in the US, and I was like, I cannot wait however many months it is to play this game. So I imported it, because you could still play US games on your EU version of the Nintendo DS, right? So I imported it, and I still remember it vividly, right? I'd missed the parcel, so it went to a local depot, and I was getting the bus to work. Oh my lord, how many years are we talking here? It must be 15 years ago. 14, it must be 15 years ago. So anyway, I was getting on the bus. So I got on the bus, got off at the mail depot, got the game, got back on the bus, right? My bus journey was about an hour and a half back then, right? So the moment I got back on that bus, I ripped that open, I played, and I started that game, right? Before I got into work, I loaded in my Cyndaquil into my Pokewalker, right? And it was like, right, you need to do steps to gain experience, right? And I had a desk job back then, right? I put that Pokewalker in my pocket, right? And I sat all day at my desk, just tapping your leg up and down all day, right? And then I got lunchtime, went down, pushed Cyndaquil back in, and it was like, you've earned X number of experience points and all these items. I was like, yeah! And I logged in the game, and then Cyndaquil pretty much was nearly going to evolve at this, like an early stage of the game. I had to slow down completely. But man, what a thing that was, by the way. I'm sure you could do mini games and catch Pokemon on it as well. I'm sure you could.
Do you still have your Pokewalker?
I've got 2 and I still do, but they do not work. The batteries have ran dry, as the
I'm sure you'll be able to replace those, because I mean, if you hold on to those, that's gonna be something for the future, isn't it?
Good fun.
But
I'm sure you could get a Mew. I'm sure you could get a Mew. Was it a Mew or a Celebi or something? I'm sure something crazy like that you could get on. Or could you? Can't remember anyway. I'm sure there was a mythical or something that was tied to it.
Yeah.
But they were great fun.
Yeah.
Honestly, fantastic games, mate. Fantastic games.
But jumping in and changing gears. Sponsor shout out. 1 million. Just for those who are listening, Pokemon Trainer Mode was in the middle of drinking, and he just caught the reference I was making with the gear change.
Honestly, choked.
Yeah.
Thanks.
No worries.
That was so subtle and brilliant at the same time. By the way,
thank you,
fantastic.
Thank you.
Fantastic,
that's a great way to segue into another mode of transport. By the way, into YouTuber shout out, YouTuber spotlight. So who have you been watching? Who have you been seeing?
So massive shout out, I think, this week to Celadon City Radio. Two lovely guys, red and blue. They go the name Celadon City Red, Celadon City Blue. They are two lovely guys. They stream very late at the night, so it's like 1 a.m. for me. So I very rarely catch them. I caught one of them not too long ago, and it was just lovely to hang out. They've been in my stream a couple of times. I've had some fun and hanged out, and they're just lovely.
They're awesome.
Very generous, awesome guys, by the way. I mean, you've seen them in Who Wants to Be Pokemon Air, right?
Yeah.
They were just so lovely, so genuine, down to earth, very, very, very nice people, and great content, by the way. So if you're looking for someone new, highly recommend it. Highly recommend them. We'll put a link. We'll put a link in the description for those for their guys' channel.
Yeah.
All right. Great stuff.
That editor is editor's gonna have a lot of work cut out for him, eh?
He's just happy to be here, man.
He is just happy to be here.
He's just happy to be. Always happy to be here, man. Always happy to be here.
All right, so we got a little bit of time left, Pokemon Trainer Mike.
Go on. What's on mind?
I want us to just touch on the magic that was Pokemon Movie 2000 and Pokemon the third movie.
Go on.
So, when did you watch Pokemon 2000 for the first time? Did you go to the movies?
I did not. I never saw any of the original Pokemon movies in the cinema.
Oh.
Shout out to my mom, if you listen to this. Thank you, mom, by the way. I'm joking. I'm kidding. When did I first see Pokemon the movie 2000?
Because for me, the first Pokemon movie I watched, the very original, was on VHS.
Me too. And I've still got it this day.
You have got yourself a mine of just gold, mate. Like that is.
Right, okay. This isn't a gloat, right? It's just because it's very special to me now. That VHS is signed by the original voice of Ash Ketchum, Veronica Taylor.
When you went to see her, you got her to sign.
She signed my VHS. Have I not told you that?
You didn't tell me she signed your VHS, no.
Oh, man, I wish I could.
Holy.
Yeah, we very carefully took the sleeve out, and she signed it to PTM, and I can't remember the words in, but signs of Veronica Taylor on the bottom.
That's incredible.
How wild is that?
That is incredible.
So special. So yeah, I've got this original VHS, and
Veronica, you keep that forever. You keep that forever.
100%. My children tried to sell that.
No.
Not happening. It's not happening.
No.
But sorry, your original question. So we've talked about the first movie. First movie. We never talked about this in the last podcast.
We didn't talk about the first movie. No.
Oh my lord! How could we have missed that? Okay, can I go down memory lane here?
Yeah, man. Let's go. Let's
Take us down there.
Take us down there.
Right. So, I never saw it at the cinema. All right.
Okay.
But I do recall me mum and me grandma going away on. They used to go on coach trips, right, with me grandma, right? And I remember them coming back with a VHS. It wasn't the actual movie, but it was like it was like a glorified preview VHS of Pokemon. I've still got that to this day as well. And it was clips from the movie, and it was kind of interviews with the cast. And so obviously, I was a child. I had no idea what was going on. I just wanted to see parts of the movie that hadn't been shown on trailers or whatever, right? So I remember seeing that. And then, yes, to your question, the first time I saw it was on VHS, where you got the Black Star promo of the Mewtwo trading card that was in it.
Yeah.
If you remember that.
Yeah.
Got that. And I remember watching Pikachu's Vacation, the little preview bit at the start.
Yes, you had the preview. Yeah. Oh, wow, that was so good.
The little mini movie. And I remember, and I still this day remember watching. I'm surprised that VHS even works. The amount of times I watched that movie. By the way, I could probably watch it and say it word for word with you right now. But it's still to this day my favorite movie. Like without a doubt. Like it's still the music, the battling. I still to this day that 3-on-3 Pokemon battle where it's the Blastoise, Venusaur, and Ash's Charizard versus the clones. Woo! Just the soundtrack, the whole thing. Magic, mate. And I remember a little poster that I got as well, and I remember sticking that on my wall as a child and stuff, and Man, that was me. That was me in the Pokemon first movie. It was the first movie. What about you?
You see, I don't remember if I went to the movie or not. Now my mind's playing tricks that I might have actually went and saw it at the movies. Or maybe it was just when I was young, I imagined my little tiny TV being so massive, right? And the fantasy just bringing it up. But yeah, man, exactly the same. We had a... my mum used to work at a... just as a part-time job. She worked at Tomorrowland, I think it was called. It was this... it was a little... a game/video shop. And... she brought it back, and I just, because I was Pokemon obsessed right back then, and I remember watching it, and I think I just kept rewinding it and just playing it from the start again, and the little Pokemon, you know, Pikachu's little vacation at the start.
So good.
It was just
made it slush.
It was an incredible movie. It was an incredible movie. It really was, and I mean, I haven't watched it again since, but in my mind, I think it would still hold up to this day.
I've seen it a few times, but you know what we should do? You can book cinemas out privately and select a video of choice or movie of choice that you like to watch. We should because we never did it as a child. We should watch Pokemon the first movie in the cinema. How cool would that be?
Or when I come up, mate. Let's do it. We should do
that. We'll do it. We'll do it for the first three, because the first three I never saw in the cinema. So we'll do that. We'll
do a shout out to everyone, and just have any other Pokemon fans and creators. We'll put it all out and say, hey, these are the dates. This is when we're doing it. Come along.
Oh, do a whole event around it. Let's do it, man. Oh, I'm in. I'm totally in. By the way, let's do it. Let's totally do it.
All right, Pokemon 2000 though. Different time. No,
I cannot on heart tell you. I don't think I had it on video at the start. Where did I see it? I've got a feeling it was at somebody's house. It must have been at someone's house, because I cannot remember. No, I do have it on VHS. I do, because I've seen it in the loft. So I do have it. I genuinely can't remember, my friend. I couldn't tell you. I genuinely can't.
You see, I
count for three though, but
you count for three.
Oh, here we go. Yeah,
I've got a story. I got a story.
Oh, let's go. Right, go on.
So I remember Pokemon 2000 vividly.
Yeah.
Vividly. Yep. I was 7.
Right?
Now there aren't many memories that you really remember.
I love this. Right,
but I was 7 years old, and I was begging my dad, please, I want to see Pokemon 2000. My little brother was 4 or 5. I don't remember if he came as well, but I remember we went to a cinema. I don't know if it was an Odeon or just something back then. And there were these rundown seats. You know, the cinema screen was big, but it was old, you know, it was vintage, you know, because I mean, it was back then, right? And I remember us sitting down at the back. I've got popcorn, and I got a drink as well. Dad's sitting next to me, having absolutely no interest or care for Pokemon at all. He just did it for me. And I would always remember being so excited. I think it was the first cinema I'd ever been to, and I was just like, whoa. And all the Pokemon are so big, and I remember touching Dad and going, look. I go, it's like, oh, this is so cool. This is so great. And I remember about 20 minutes in, I poked my dad again, and I was like, look. And all my dad was, he was like this. And I poked him, and he was like, yeah, that's so cool, right? And I'm like, yeah, Dad, it's really, really cool. And all the way through to the end, anytime he fell asleep, nowadays, if he did, I'd let him sleep. But back then, I would just keep poking him to like wake him up to watch. I would say, I don't want to miss anything, Dad. Like, I was blessed.
I'm gonna tear, mate. That's beautiful, man. I love stuff like that, man.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that. That's lush, mate. That is so nice.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you've got that lush memory. I genuinely don't remember when I saw it. I really, really don't. I know a lot of people went to the cinema to see it, and I don't remember. I definitely didn't go to the cinema, but
he didn't return for the third one. Let's just we'll just say
that. he's done his part.
He did his part. Yeah, he did his part. We got that one on VHS.
The Pokemon Movie 3, The Spell of the Unknown. Oh.
Now that was I don't care what people say. That was a bloody masterpiece.
I love that movie. I love that movie so much. So much. Only just because I'm biased because that's just Charles that comes back into it. Spoiler. It's been 20 plus years. You've seen it, right? But man, I remember. So a friend invited us over for tea, because he had it on VHS. So again, cinema didn't happen. I do remember before that. I remember
dinner.
Okay, I remember a friend who had just got a printer for the first time, and we found it must have been in like a magazine or something. It was like, if you go on this website, you can get some pictures printed off. And I remember him going on. And she printed off like 4 stills of like captions from like small captions from the movie. So it was like when Missy's battling Molly, I think she was called, with Kingdra, and Kingdra's coming through the smoke screen. There's a still of that. When Teddy says, I think, going to use Dynamic Punch, I think was another still. I can't remember what the other two were. It was definitely one with Entei. Another one with Entei was fighting. I mean, they might have been Charizard. And I still remember them. And it was like in black and white because it wasn't color. But it was like the size of a photo, right? That pit, I remember cutting it out and having them and sticking them on my wall as a kid. So good. But yeah, a friend invited us over because he's like, I've got this great new movie. And I was like, you know, when you're a kid, you're like, you think you know everything about one of your hobbies. Like, there's no new Pokemon movie out. And I'm like, no, there is. I've actually got it on VHS. I was like, no, I was like, come over to my house for tea and we'll watch it. So I ended up watching it at his house the first time, and I remember just screaming. When that final moment happens, Ash goes to grab Pikachu's an explosion. He falls down from his attack, and then Charizard just alley-up grabs him. And I remember just like, it's like just screaming when Charizard was coming on, man. And just, I'm pretty sure I kicked a glass of Coke over in excitement by accident and drenched his bed. That's what we're sitting on. Whoops. But I still remember it vividly. And we've actually just rewatched that last weekend, but I had to turn it off because Harry got a bit scared of, I don't know what it was, if it was NT or it was just the vibe of it, but that was the first time I've watched that for 20 years or something like that, and all the soundtrack, all the noises just came flooding back, and it was just beautiful to rewatch, mate. So good, man. What a movie. Like everyone, what I loved about those ones is like every one of Ash's Pokemon got a moment to shine. That's what I loved about the movies back then, because like Noctowl helped when they're trying to transverse into the building. Like Noctowl comes out and he helps Chikorita and Bulbasaur at the top of the waterfall. They use Vine Whip, both of them.
The
to
Vine
help,
Whip, yeah. They all work together, don't they? Yeah.
Everyone had a small role to play.
But they all did. Oh my god, that's such a threat. I didn't remember that. I didn't, but then I did. You just connected a little. Mate. You connected something. So there.
Good.
Oh, that movie was. It was really well done, because there was a clear goal with the movie. Like you were following a very clear direction with what they were trying to do. Right, they were trying to rescue the girl. Right, was that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and then, but from Entei's point of view, he's trying to protect her. Like, he's not evil, and so
I am an illusion. Can we just very quickly shout out? I don't know if this is going to blow your mind, or you may already know, right? The voice actor of Entei and the little girl's dad in there is Dan Green. But I think that's his name.
That's Yugi.
Who's the voice of Yugi Mortal? I'm just blowing you. I can see, you can't see his face, but his face is just like when. You'll have to listen to a clip. It is because where I got I got my VHS signed from Veronica Taylor at MCM Comic Con. It was all about the movie, like, because it was the celebration of how many years it'd been. Might have been 20 years, right? And next to Veronica's table was Dan Green, and he had on his little kind of. Did I not tell you this?
No.
Oh, sorry. Right. So next to her,
you met Dan Green.
No, I didn't. His queue was ridiculous.
No wonder.
His and Veronica's was massive, and went for Veronica, but he was there, and like they have like a billboard behind them that showcases obviously some of the characters that they've played throughout their life, and like
And that was Entei,
you've got obviously, oh well, yeah, so he's obviously Yugi's front and center, of course, right? But then he had Trico, which I didn't know. He's the voice of Trico from the anime.
What? And
then he's got Entei, and he does other Pokemon too in there. It's crazy, man.
Oh, that's
crazy.
Amazing. That is just such a lovely bit of information to know now.
You're gonna listen to that. You're gonna watch that movie or a clip.
I'm gonna
just watch a little clip and you hear it. Like the voice of Goku plays random characters through Pokemon as well.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
It's crazy, man.
But
crazy.
I had no idea about Dan Green. Wow, that is cool.
So I've not watched it since I knew that was his voice, right? And whenever he was talking, I was like, ooh, Yugi boy.
That's Pegasus, but yeah, you know.
Sorry, but you probably know what I'm trying to say.
It's Yugi boy.
Oh, sorry, the master has spoken. I beg your pardon. You're doing way better than me. So yes, Dan Green does the voice of Entei. So when he's talking, and I was like, oh wow, like obviously because you watch Yu-Gi-Oh past that, right? Like it was crazy, man, crazy. Great movie. Great movie.
Great movie indeed.
But we're still on Johto movies, right? So did you ever watch So I have no idea what point you'd stopped. You'd seen Pokemon Forever.
No, I've never watched Pokemon
Which is
Forever.
The next movie after that, no?
No, so my Pokemon movie finished after 3.
After 3.
Never watched.
So you've not seen a single Pokemon movie past number 3?
No. So what I'm thinking is we're gonna
have a marathon.
We're gonna not only are we gonna have a marathon, mate.
Okay,
we're gonna have a marathon. But here's the idea.
I'm here for it.
When we go to EUIC or whatever
Pokemon EUIC London
EUIC.
Last weekend of February 2025.
We'll be there.
Yep.
We're both
we
gonna
will
be there.
Yep.
Come say hi. You know.
Let's rip some packs together. Let's enjoy.
That's it. That's it.
Let's do it.
When we get back to our incredibly fine hotel, by the way, very we're gonna.
Are we gonna watch Pokemon movies every night?
Let's watch Pokemon movies every night.
I'm in. All right. Well, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna go into the story I'm about to tell you then because I don't want to spoil anything.
We'll go from 1. We'll go do like 1 and 2. And then we'll do like, or we'll just go like 2 and 3, 4, like, you know, what we'll do. Yeah. I love that.
All right, well, this isn't a spoiler, right? But let me, because we're talking about Johto, let me do it, right? Okay. So there's a battle that happens in Pokemon Forever, right? And it's Ash and another character that I'll not mention versus two. Is it the guys? Yeah, it's 2 Pokemon, right? This guy's 2 Pokemon, the villain, so to speak. And when that movie first came out, I got it on DVD, right? When DVD players had just come out, by the way. And my dad had picked up his first surround sound system, right? So when I say surround sound, it was like he had a giant speaker next to the TV and 2 as big as that, right? As big as that. Like that attached to the wall, right? And there's a moment in that battle where one of the guy's Pokemon is a Scizor, right? And he uses Double Team. Okay, so Scizor uses Double Team, and it literally in surround sound mode, it's going Scizor, 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 right the way around my head. Now I'm like, So I turned it all the way up as loud as I possibly could, right? Rewound it and played it again, and I just remember me dad being like, "What on earth is that?" And I'm like, "That's Scizor's using Double Team in the room." It was magical, mate. It was magical. But I'll leave it there. If we haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it anymore. There is another Johto Pokemon movie after that, called Pokemon Heroes, which dipped into showcasing some Gen 3 Pokemon.
Oh, now that's something I'd be very interested in.
A very good movie. Based off Venice, actually. I can't remember what the town is in the movie, but it's based off Venice.
Oh, really?
Very beautifully made. Animation's on point.
Yeah.
But I'll not tell. If we're going to watch that, I'll not tell you about that.
Talking of Gen 3, that's going to be where we head to next on our journey, isn't it, Pokemon Trainer Mike?
I'll just say now, guys, we're roughing about 50 minutes to an hour on a podcast, right? Buckle up. Because next time it's going to be 2 to 3 hours. I'm joking.
It's going to be multiple parts. Yeah, 100%.
It's going to be like a 3-part
podcast yeah. If you're a Gen 3 enjoyer like we are, let's just say the next few weeks, maybe next month, we are going to be have a month of Hoenn. The month of Hoenn. Let's do it.
A month of Hoenn. I'm in every aspect of it. Anime, games, like I'm in.
So, Pokemon Trainer Mike.
Oh, that was magical.
That was lovely, wasn't it? That was
magical.
You know, I'll tell you what. As we would talk, the more we were talking through the episode, the more I was starting to remember. The more I was starting to be like, oh yeah. The beginning, I was a little bit, what happened? How did this happen and stuff? And then it ended really well, really nicely.
I loved it. It was a lovely trip down. It was lovely. Like I said, Hoenn. I've got Hoenn on the brain now.
Yeah, that's it.
It was lovely going back Johto. It was lovely, mate. It was lovely. So, if you enjoyed today's podcast, of course, this is episode 2 of the PokéCast with Brad and Mike. Number 1 is out there already. Go listen. It talks all things Gen 1, our first memories, and we would like to know what your first memory was of Pokemon on that one. And of course, Brad's question today on the second podcast was, of course, what was your favorite Johto Pokemon? Let us know. We'd love to hear it. But if you've enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, follow, whatever the social part is, wherever you're listening to us to. We're looking to put this out every week, so please come along, enjoy the journey with us as we just go through our lives and the love of Pokemon. All right, Brad, you got anything to say in closing?
I couldn't have put it better myself, man. It's a pleasure as always, and get ready for the next couple of
episodes.
couple of PokéCasts, guys, because Gen 3 is where we're all gonna lock in. So hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, guys. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.